just have to kind of explain it through. That's pretty easy. I'll just say like that. Like, you don't have to get what's going on down there. Like, you won't be able to see it. still try to grab it in the corners and move it.
Good morning, fans, and welcome to the Pat Burns Arena, the 2026 Canadian Prep School Hockey Alliance playoffs. This morning marks the first game between Ross St. School and Upper Canada College. Please stay tuned for today's starting lineups. Starting lineup. Ross St. School. On defense, Chris Kempsis in front of him. Number 7, Jesse Dunlap. On defense, Portugal Code, Newfoundland. Number 24, Nash Norman. At forward, Conception Bay, Newfoundland. Number 14, Cameron Stroke. At forward, Conception Bay, Newfoundland. Number 19, Drew Morris. At forward, Equatorial France. Number 81, Killian Herrera. This morning, starting goaltender, Grand Prairie, Alberta. Number 29, Marty Hackenberg. The rest of the Ross. Starting lineup, Upper Canada College. On defense, Toronto, Ontario. Number 8, Matthew Burley. On defense, Toronto, Ontario. Number 6, Will Scott. At forward, from Ottawa, Ontario. Number 14, James Jan. At forward, Toronto, Ontario. Number 88, Colton Beck. At forward, from Toronto, Ontario. Number 89, Cammy Bliss. This morning, starting over from Toronto, Ontario. Number 1, Shane Apple. Autographs and blues. That was the Vino anthem. Have a great evening and a great weekend.
Good morning and welcome to the Pat Burns Arena for Game 1 of the CPSHA playoffs, co-hosted by Stanstead College and Bishop's College School. Game 1 features a matchup between Ross St. Netherwood School in white and Upper Canada College in blue. Today's starting goaltenders are for Ross St. number 29, Marty Hackenberg, and for Upper Canada College, number 1, Shane Ablett. Should be a great game here to kick off the weekend, and as we are set to get underway. Puck is dropped and pushed into the UCC zone as Will Scott back to retrieve it as he goes around. Referee gets in the way there, so RNS able to keep that puck in, but chipped out by UCC, and here they come. UCC across the outside goal line on net, and Hackenberg sees his first action of the game, just 18 seconds into this one, as he will absorb that one and get a whistle. Face-off coming to his right. As Zhang takes it for UCC. Zhang wins it. Shot saved by Hackenberg. Face-off one back to Colton Bick, who gets a quality shot into the glove of the goaltender. As they'll reset and look to do it again here. RNS switches things up, gets some fresh legs out there, but still Zhang out there for the draw as he wins it back to Bick. Bick pushes it forward, but that's off the stick of his teammate and eventually pushed out by RNS. Now in the neutral zone, that puck hits an RNS defender and goes back into their zone as Bick with it again, but that's knocked off his stick. RNS now with it as they look to break out of their zone, circling the net. As that's moved up and across. Now cross ice, off a skate back into the RNS zone. This could be trouble. Hackenberg out to play the puck. He rims it around off glass. As Zhang's still out there for UCC now with it. Zhang loses it. And now RNS will set up and look to break out again. That puck goes in the middle, and here's Pelletier with it as he enters the UCC zone. Pelletier able to get the puck deep as RNS makes a nice play with it. That goes out from, that's sticked away though by the goaltender Ablett as that puck rolls back in on him, and he will cover up. That was Riker Babcock with the big hit in the corner to separate the puck from the UCC defender and put one to goal, but good stick there by Ablett to prevent any chaos from going towards the front of the net as this faceoff will come to the right of Ablett. Faceoff won there by RNS, but it's UCC pushing through as that puck's worked to the wall and put in deep. Hackenberg out to play the puck. Hackenberg will put it back up the wall where it's chopped ahead and pushed out of the zone. This is U back with it. U looks middle. And now UCC back with it into the RNS zone, but that's eventually turned over and sent up glass to the wall, but into the linesman's feet. RNS will get the puck back as UCC sets up their forecheck. Behind the net now and over. Back behind the net. As they'll escape and look middle as that's tipped into the UCC zone. UCC first back to it, and they'll go D to D. Looking to go middle, but that's tipped ahead as UCC gets the puck back and enters. Shot, and that goes high above the net of Hackenberg. As that puck looks to get chipped out of the RNS zone, but off a UCC player and into the RNS bench. Fast-paced first couple minutes here as both teams look to figure each other out here in the opening frame. This faceoff will come to the left of Hackenberg as this is Jack Brady taking the draw for Upper Canada College. He'll win the draw, but it's RNS who will end up with the puck as they chip the puck ahead. Big hit there along the boards as that puck's pushed below the goal line. Shot. Oh, big save. Rebound. Scores. RNS gets on the board first. This will be number 4, Dixon Beatty with the goal. He's the one who started the play with a good chip into the UCC zone. Ablett making a couple great first stops, but Beatty on the doorstep putting it home to make it 1-0 for the Riverhawks. Coach Jeff Lewis couldn't be happier with this start for his team as we take the ensuing face-off, and it's UCC back in their end looking to get out here as that's chipped ahead and into the neutral zone by the Blues. But here comes RNS again. Across the blue line, shot off the glove of the goaltender Ablett and then into the corner. Here's UCC with it again. This is Will Scott as he moves the puck up to Naka. Naka stood up at the blue line. He separated the puck. Now away go the Riverhawks. In on goal, shot, into the glove of, and a big hit in front of the net. This is going to get chippy here early as the refs get involved. That was number 81, Killian Alves Pereira, dancing in on goal and getting the shot in on Ablett, and then took the brunt of that one as he was heading to the net. And the Riverhawks are going to get a power play out of this as Blues player, that's Gavin Yu, is going to head off for the cross check. So the Riverhawks special teams will get going here. They'll get their first power play with 16:52 left in the first period. And it's Alves Pereira out there to take the draw. Player who drew the penalty for Riverhawks. And he wins it back to Pelletier. Pelletier now with it at the top as he moves it over to the flank. That goes cross ice, down to goal line. Back up top to Pelletier. Over to flank. Shot, blocker save there by Ablett. UCC first to it, and they'll clear. Hackenberg stopping the clear, and he'll send it up to Shuttleworth. Shuttleworth pressured, but regaining the puck. Shuttleworth skating. He'll send it over cross ice to Pelletier, as Pelletier will rim it off the boards. Funny hop as that bounced in the slot. But Riverhawks first to it. They'll send it back around the boards where this will be, Dunlop with it. Dunlop cross ice. No, but under dangerous pressure there, and UCC will get the puck. Big hit there along the boards, but UCC will send that all the way to the length of the ice. Here's Pelletier with it behind the net as he looks to start the breakout. Here's Pelletier. Pelletier up to McMillan, who dumps the puck in past Ablett, but right to the UCC penalty kill, but that'll be kept in by the Riverhawks as they look to set up here. Up to the point as that gets moved over. Down to flank, cross ice, just out of the reach of Dawson. But that puck goes up to Gorman. Shot from the top circle, one-timer, and that's right into the chest of Ablett for the whistle. 31 seconds left here in the minor to U. As this faceoff will come to the left of Ablett. That's McMullen out there to take the drop for UCC. He wins it back almost too cleanly as that gets past the defenseman Gorman and back into the neutral zone. Killing some precious time there for the Blues as that's shipped in, and a hard on the forecheck there is Gavin Smith as he pins the puck up against the wall, but again wasting some precious seconds off the penalty kill or off the power play for the Riverhawks. RNS will win that puck back as that puck sent back to Gorman at the point. Gorman across. Back to Gorman at the top. Shot. That's off a stick. Back up to Gorman. Dangerous pass there as the UCC players pressuring the point hard, but no harm, no foul as Smith will enter back into the UCC zone. Good defensive play there by the Blues to break it up as that's sent ahead. Off a skate of the UCC player and back into the RNS zone. Good collision there in the corner. But that's sent up back the boards, and UCC will keep this puck in as that's sent to the half wall. Good work there by Zhang there to win the puck. Zhang wins it back to Sil Apps, who takes a shot on net, and that's gloved by Hackenberg. $14:15 left in the first period. It's still 1-0 RNS on the goal by Dixon Beatty. Shots now 6-3 for the Riverhawks. As Zhang will line up to take the faceoff for the Blues. Puck one, shot, blocked, but UCC will regain possession as that puck's turned over on the half wall, and RNS will look to get away. Here's Cole with it, one-on-one. Cole driving wide. Cole, good defensive play there by Apps to knock the puck away from him as UCC looks to transition as they enter with three across the blue line. Puck into the skate of Apps, but unable to find it and get a good scoring chance. Puck now in the corner for the Blues, but push up the wall to Cole as Cole will just chip it out of the zone. Cole back with it as that puck's turned over. And here they come. Here's Moores with a nice move through the legs. Moores with a backhand shot, and that misses to the short side. Here's Romanov with it. He'll look to put it in net, but that is blocked by the UCC defender. As now the Blues get up the wall, but kept in there by the goal scorer, Beatty. Sent back to the Blues defenseman as they look to break out. Here's Apps with it up the wall. That's sent to the middle. Here comes Zhang. Zhang with it. 1-on-2. Zhang shot through the legs of the RNS defender, but right into the breadbasket of Hackenberg for another save. Good head of speed on Zhang there as he entered the RNS zone and wisely used the legs of the RNS defender to cause a bit of a problem there for Hackenberg, but goaltender standing tall and making a good save there. This is Brady to take the draw now for the Blues as he'll push it ahead, but scramble draw. Eventually possessed by UCC as they'll regroup back into the neutral zone, and they'll look to send that puck in deep, but off the liney and into the corner as that puck gets worked around by the Riverhawks as they look to break out, but good pressure there by the Blues to keep the puck in, and high flipped out by the Riverhawks defenders. Back on first is Will Scott for the Blues as he works it over to his defense partner, who skates ahead and looks to go cross ice, but that's blocked by the RNS forecheck. Eventually that puck is flipped into the neutral zone and out of play. This faceoff will come back into the UCC zone to the left of goaltender Shane Ablett, the 2009 born goaltender. This will be Bowden McFadden on the draw for the Riverhawks. As some early movement, we'll see the UCC centerman kicked out. McFadden wins the draw as that gets pushed down the wall, but lost. Here's Beatty looking for it, but that's poked into the slot and poked ahead. Here comes the Blues as they'll dump that puck in. Big hit there in the neutral zone to knock down the UCC forward. But UCC with it in the offensive zone as they go rink wide and back to the point where that puck is turned over in high ice. And here come the Riverhawks, 3 across, but they'll dump that puck in. Here's Beatty with it on the forecheck. Beatty angled off nicely, and here come the Blues. Nice saucer pass in the middle, but just over the top of the stick as that's poked in deep there by you. Puck gets worked around to the far wall as that's protected nicely, but eventually won by the Riverhawks and flipped ahead. Race for it now as here comes Smith with it. Smith by himself. Shot, scores! Good job by Gavin Smith there to race past the UCC defender. Collect the puck. Oh, excuse me. That is number 19, Drew Moores with the goal. As Moores did a great job of racing past the UCC defender and letting a shot go. Just squeaking under the arm of Ablett. And now RNS has doubled their lead to 2-0 as we near the halfway mark of the first period. Apologies to the Moores family for watching at home. That's my bad. I'm sure Gavin Smith will do great things in this game, but that is Drew Moores with his first goal of the weekend. As RNS looks for more here as Alvis Ferreira across the line, and he'll shoot and into the glove of Ablett. This faceoff will come to his right as Alvis Pereira lines up to take it for the Riverhawks. That his puck is won to the wall, but ultimately chipped out of the zone by the Blues. Up ahead comes Avery as he looks to go across ice, but that pass is picked off and pushed out of the zone. Good chip ahead here, and here come the Riverhawks again. Oh, but good job coming back by Apps to break that play up as that puck gets pushed to the wall. Bat on the half wall now, and Riverhawks still with it. But here comes UCC as they swing one into the neutral zone. And that's pushed across as good back check there by the goaltender Morse to break up that potential shot opportunity as the Riverhawks now look to break out. That puck's worked ahead to Spurrell on the wall as he gets that puck chipped in. Ablett out to play it, and he'll move to his defender who stops behind the net and will exit the other way. This is Bick with it. Bick closed up, but regains the possession as working by himself in the corner there. That puck gets turned over. Here come the Riverhawks again. Ooh, that dangerous stretch pass. Nicely broken up there by the UCC defender. And now back into the Riverhawks end. Here's List with it. List by the net out front. Ooh, off a skate, but shouldered away by Hackenberg. Dangerous opportunity there. Here's Peltier with it. But List with it. List in the slot for Bick. Shot. Ooh, just high and above the cage. For UCC's best chance of the game so far, as that puck is pushed ahead, but tipped and no icing there. As Riverhawks will get on the forecheck. Riverhawks coming out with it as they go low to high. Peltier across to McClement. Back to Peltier. That's through his feet. And dangerous as Bick now with it as he goes 1-on-2. Here's Bick trying to toe drag, but Peltier with a good job of getting back and getting the pin and separating his player from the puck. Good little chip there by RNS to get out of the zone as that puck doesn't have enough steam for icing. UCC looking to get up ice quickly here as they'll transition back into the offensive zone. Shot, that just goes just wide of Hackenberg's left pad as they'll look to regroup again. Puck gets worked across and up, but that rolls off the stick of the UCC player. Not enough for icing though, as that puck will be sent D to D and up to Robinson. That gets chipped ahead. Robinson raced for it with the goaltender Ablett, but wise play there by the goaltender just to put it into the corner, and that puck will get worked back out. Rimmed in here by Romanen as RNS sets up here in the offensive zone out front for Robinson. Oh, Robinson with another chance on goal as that misses just wide. UCC with it on the half wall, looking to get that puck out. Good shift here by the Riverhawks to hem the Blues in as that puck gets worked to the slot, and good shot and a good save there by Ablett. That puck trickled from the half wall into the slot for Will Cole, who ripped one on goal. 8:33 left here in the first period. 2-0 RNS. Shots now 9-4 for the Riverhawks. As McFadden will take the draw here. McFadden pushing the offensive zone draw ahead, and that's back off the wall. Ooh, puck put out in front. Another good save there by Ablett. As McFadden with it in the corner. McFadden picked off there by Apps, and away he goes. He moves the puck up, but that is broken around, and now back into the UCC zone as they look to attack, but turned over, and here come the Riverhawks. Here's McFadden with it streaking down the wing. McFadden cutting inside. McFadden shooting and fanning as he looked to get a good shot on that, but that's pushed back out into neutral zone where the Riverhawks will have it. That puck's put in by Dunlap around the boards, but Apps first to it for the dangerous pass there into the slot, but pushed to the wall as Dunlap back with it. Dunlap down the wall. Dunlap back up to the point. Shot, good block there as Riverhawks will put that puck back in deep. Good forecheck here by the Riverhawks, playing with a lot of grit here in the opening frame. As they'll hem this puck. This puck will get back to the point for Gorman. Gorman shot, another block shot for the Blues. As that puck's put back in by the Riverhawks. UCC first two on the wall, but good pressure there to keep the puck in. Here's Dunlap. Down the wall, shot. Looking for a stick out front, but no one home. Gorman will push that puck in deep for Spurrell. Spurrell to the slot. And that's Moores looking to go upstairs, but great save there by Ablett. As finally UCC able to get the puck into the neutral zone. But here comes Gorman back in transition with it. Gorman pass behind Dunlap, and he'll just rim that puck in on the goaltender Ablett, who stumbles and falls, but able to make a good stop there behind the net so his team can break out. Here's List with it. Big hit on the wall, but he's able to push that puck ahead to Zhang. Here comes Zhang with it, and Zhang dancing in, broken up, shot out front, and that's saved by Hackenberg. Rodriguez left alone, but good save by the goaltender. Puck back into the UCC end, but the defender is able to figure it out and get that puck back in the neutral zone. Smith gives it back to McClement as RNS changes. He'll look ahead for Dawson, but that's broken up as Smith regains the puck for RNS. Here comes Smith with it. Smith moving across the right lane. He'll jump and chase. Smith first to it. As they'll look to set up. Down the wall comes Peltier, who sends it around for McMullen. McMullen looking for Peltier at the point. And some good hand-eye there to keep that puck in. As Smith back with it in the corner for RNS. Smith working, grinding away. McMullen gets it. McMullen behind the cage. McMullen out front for Peltier. And that's saved by Ablett. Round the net again goes RNS as they look for players out front of the net. Back up to McClement. Off his stick, be able to keep it in. McClement now, dangerous play there as that puck almost got by him. But Peltier flipping it in to the slot. Fanned on by Brody Dawson. Here's Dawson with it again in the neutral zone as he looks to keep the RNS attack going. As McClement now pushing one towards net, but cleared down the ice by the RNS or by the UCC defender. And that'll go for icing with 5:07 left in the first. Hybrid icing being played with this weekend. No change on icing. And fun little rule, the offensive team gets to choose which side the ensuing faceoff will take place on. So McFadden electing to take the draw to the right of Ablett. See if he can follow through, and he does. He wins that draw back to the point for Lawless. Back down to the half wall. Beatty with a shot on net, sticked away by Ablett. To the slot. Good blocker save there by Ablett. High flip by UCC defender. Hits the rafters, and this will stay in the UCC zone. Riverhawks doing a really good job of working that puck deep, finding players out in front for some really good opportunities here in the first period. As McFadden will take the draw. Beatty lined up behind him for ideally a quick shot on goal, but that puck's actually won by the Blues there, so that face-off play will have to be saved for another day as UCC works that puck up quickly, and that's tipped into the Riverhawks end as UCC will try to get some offensive zone time here. That puck's pushed to the wall. Riverhawks defender gets knocked down, but Lawless will end up winning that puck. Lawless into the middle of the ice for McFadden. McFadden over to the wing where that puck is rimmed in. Ablett out to stop the puck. Ablett will rim it around the wall, and that puck is corralled by UCC as they bring the puck back looking to break out. This is Crombeen with it. Crombeen across the line. Crombeen with the shot rebound. Hackenberg in the feed, loose in front, and that's finally pushed to the corner there by the Riverhawks. Harmless looking shot with the rebound dropping in front of Hackenberg, but good job by the RNS defenders to come back and clear it away. This puck will be corralled in the UCC end, but that turned over to Smith. Smith working in the UCC end. But that is flipped into the UCC bench. Potentially hitting one of the coaches there. But they look to be all right. Face-off coming back into the UCC end. 3:39 left in the first period. This will be Smith on the draw here. Smith losing the draw as Apps pushes the puck to the far side. For Scott. Scott chipping it ahead. Getting it puck into the middle, and UCC not able to get that puck in deep, but now are able to do so. That was Jack Brady as Hackenberg comes out to play the puck and move it to the weak side. RNS will flip that in the neutral zone where Cole chases Apps back into the UCC end, but Apps will throw that puck cross ice to his teammate. It's now Brady with a tough turnover there into the slot for Cole, but he'll regain possession and work the puck cross ice to Avery. Avery ahead, backdoor, and not able to connect with Brady there as on a nice play by the defenseman Scott jumping up in the rush. Out front, and that'll be cleared by Robinson all the way into the UCC end. But here's Scott flinging the puck up, but turned over and now flipped at cross ice as that play gets broken up in the neutral zone. And RNS looks to attack. Tight call at the blue line there as that'll be called for offside as Spurrell looked to jump off that turnover and attack. Shots 12-6 for the Riverhawks as we near the end of this first period. This will be Alvis Pereira on the draw for the Riverhawks against Zhang. Draw one by Zhang. As the Blues look to get puck in, but puck stays onside. List looking to make a play. List just able to keep that puck in, but now pushed out, and here comes Pelche with it. Pelche will rim it in as that puck goes all the way around to Spurrell. Spurrell with it. Spurrell still in the corner there to Alvis Pereira. Alvis Pereira looking out front. Alvis Pereira looking for Spurrell in front of the net, but that pass gets broken up. Good hit there by Spurrell to regain possession of the puck for the Riverhawks as Moores flips it back in, and now the goal scorer, Moores with it in the corner. Moores looking for players out front. He'll find out Alvis Pereira out front, but that puck's broken up, and Spurrell looking to go back to Pelche, but that is out of his reach. Here's Pelche with it as he'll look for a stretch pass. That's broken up, and here come the Blues off the counter. Pelche will break that puck up and flip it out into the neutral zone as UCC goes back on it. That puck gets moved over to Zhang. Zhang up ahead, and that's tipped into the RNS zone as Pelche's back for it. Pelche will rim that puck around. Not strong enough to get to his winger, but just hopping over the stick of the UCC defender, that puck will get out. Puck in the neutral zone and controlled by the Blues as they'll try to make a move as the answer, but that's turned over. Now Smith coming back with it to McClement. McClement off the stick of McMillan and back to UCC. But RNS now with it. As they'll look to push it ahead. And now here comes UCC across the blue line. Back to the point. Shot off the RNS skate and wide of the net as that puck gets rimmed around and out. Smith chasing after it. Smith getting position. Smith dropping. Back to Smith. Ooh, good shot on net and a good save there by the goaltender, Ablett. Off the rush. 28.7 seconds left here in the first period. Let's see if RNS can mount one last attack before the end of the frame. McFadden will take the draw here for the Riverhawks against Zhang for the Blues. Draw one by McFadden as that puck goes back to the point. Here's Lawless with it now. Lawless looking for a shooting lane. Lawless will eventually put that puck behind the net, where it's eventually chipped ahead to the wall, but kept in by the Riverhawks. Here's Scott with it. Scott finds List through the seam, and we have 10 seconds left. Ooh, puck rolls off the stick of List as UCC could have had one more scoring chance, but here comes Apps circling back, and Apps will just look to kill the clock here as we go 3, 2, and 1, as that will conclude the first period. 2-0 RNS, as there's some post-buzzer shenanigans here. Both teams amped for this one. But now both teams skating back to their bench and off the ice for our first period intermission. Goal scorers are Dixon Beatty getting the first one. And then Drew Morris following up for the Riverhawks. As we'll be right back after the flood.
Can I sit in this chair?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, yeah. And we're back for second period action here at the Pat Burns Arena. RNS up 2-0 here on the Blues as they look to get back into this one. As puck drop is moments away here. As it will be Naka and McFadden set to take the draw for their respective teams. And away we go here in the middle frame as that draw is won by Naka and then put in deep by the Blues defender. Here comes Dunlap around the net as that puck is poked to the RNS blue line and sent back in deep as Gorman back to it first. Gorman over the Dunlap. Dunlap trying to go rink wide, but off a shin pad of a Blues player as that puck is sent into the neutral zone and played around, but it is kept in by the Riverhawks, but eventually just put in back into the Riverhawks bench. So that faceoff will come inside the UCC zone to the left of goaltender Shane Ablett. McFadden set to take the offensive zone draw here for the Riverhawks. As he loses that one to Zhang. And the Blues look to break out. Here comes Yu with speed as he rims that puck in. Yu around Hackenberg. Hackenberger with it now as he'll rim that puck around glass. Players seem to think it went out, but play will carry on as that puck is put rink wide and off the skate to Dunlap out in front, but no one home. As that puck is kept in by the Riverhawks, but it's Scott with it with full possession as he looks to break out. Scott off the skate, and here comes the Riverhawks. 3-on-1. Dunlap. Oh, good defensive play there by Yu to break up that dangerous scoring opportunity as that puck's thrown back out front and deflected away by Ablett. And UCC just able to get that puck across the blue line to relieve some pressure, but here comes Dunlap again. Dunlap through the middle ahead to Alvis Pereira, but that's broken off the stick by Yu. Yu with a couple of really good defensive plays here for the Blues to mitigate the damage. Peltier looking to go up, and that puck is knocked away by Scott, and here comes the Blues with it as that puck play is broken up and pushed ahead, and now a race for it. Just in front of the goal as, the UCC defender is taken down hard there, but no call by the officials as RNS maintains possession. Physicality picking up here in the early moments here of the second period as bodies crashing into the boards. As UCC looks to settle it down here a little bit. As you will move it ahead to Bick. Bick ahead. Here's Brady, but he loses it. As Hilderman around for Spurrell, but pinching down is the UCC defenseman who pushes ahead as they'll look to chip it by him on the wall as battle still going in the corner, won by the UCC player out front, and that's just through the feet of the UCC forward, Bylard, and that goes all the way back into the UCC zone as that is now worked ahead to Butler. Butler will flip it in deep as Peltier with time to retrieve it. Peltier using his feet to escape, makes a nice, dangerous hit there as that'll be number 28, Griffin Avery heading off. It's a really dangerous play there as we'll get a 4-minute penalty call for kneeing. Peltier still out there as he looks to be okay. They're assessing that penalty to Colton Bick for the knee. Peltier still out there, seems to be okay, so good to see that on a really dangerous looking play there. So officials get that one right as the Riverhawks will head to their second power play opportunity of the evening, albeit double the length of their first one on the double minor. Smith with it on the board, just they look to get set up, but chopped out there by Burley and all the way down the ice. Peltier back forward first for the Riverhawks. He has some heavy pressure, but he turns back and escapes. Peltier up to Dunlap, but off his stick, and now Naka with it for UCC. Naka back to Burley, and Burley will get it to Peltier at the blue line, so not all the way down as he'll enter back into the UCC zone as Peltier looks to create something off the rush, off the stick of Dawson and wide as this puck gets worked to Dunlap to Peltier. Peltier over the flank, back to Peltier up top. Peltier to Dunlap. Dunlap dragging, deflected, and Dunlap breaks his stick, but gets one from the bench. Good work there by his teammates to get him a fresh twig as that puck is rimmed around to Dunlap. Dunlap now with it, with a foreign stick in his hand. Back to Peltier. Peltier over to the far side, down to goal line to Dawson, out front. And that puck is put on net, and a good save there by Ablett. As here comes Dawson wheeling around the offensive zone. Dawson still circling. Out front, shot high on Ablett, and that's a good save by the UCC goaltender as that puck is finally cleared and down the ice. Here comes Hackenberg. Hackenberg stretching it out to Peltier as they look to try to get, as they try to catch UCC changing, but unable to do so. Good play ahead by Ablett. Now UCC looking to take advantage shorthanded, but well back checked there by Spurrell, breaks it up. And now RNS comes ahead as we're just about halfway through the first half of the kneeing penalty here. RNS just not able to get set up in their zone as that puck gets worked back down the ice by the UCC penalty kill. Hackenberg out to play it as he works it to his teammate who skates ahead with it now, but almost turned over there in the neutral zone as Spurrell will rim it in. Here's Ablett with it. Ablett looking to clear it ball by himself, and he is able to do so. Nice play there by the UCC goaltender to relieve the pressure. Here comes Gorman with it now behind the RNS cage, waiting for his teammates to run their routes here on the power play breakout as Gorman steps out. Gorman looking to go through the middle, but that goes all the way down on Ablett, who will clear it himself again. Good puck handling skills on display here by the UCC goaltender as McClement gets it ahead. That puck gets sent to the UCC defenders who will just look to kill some time here. Here's Yu across to his partner, and they'll send that all the way down the ice. That's less than a minute remaining on the RNS power play, and here comes Dunlap with a head full of steam. Here come as he skates across the red line, blue line. Dunlap in. Dunlap looking, scanning. Dunlap around the net. He'll flip it up the wall there. That hits the broken stick, but kept in, and that gets set back down to Dunlap, who's pressured as that'll get sent down to Peltier at the goal line. Peltier curling. He climbs. That gets sent to Dunlap. Down to goal line to Alves Pereira. Back up to Dunlap. To Peltier. On net. And that gets tipped out of play. Just 18 seconds left here in the double minor. Really formidable job by the Blues. Penalty kill here as they haven't really given up a whole lot here. As we had our first stoppage since that broken stick by Dunlap, and is finally cleared off the ice, but draw to the right of Ablett is one and controlled by the Riverhawks as they look to capitalize on the remainder of this power play time as McFadden rims it around to Beatty. Beatty behind the net, back to Beatty. Beatty to the point, no one home. As Peltier will go retreat into the neutral zone retrieve. Here comes Peltier with it as he looks to push ahead as we're back to 5-on-5 hockey here. As Naka tries to dump that puck in, but Dunlap will control. Dunlap reversing the puck back to Cadiz. Cadiz to Peltier to Dunlap. Here's Cadiz entering the zone with it. He'll chip it by his man. Cadiz looking at the slot, looking for Beatty, but that's poked away and broken up. And cycles back down deep for Cadiz, but that's sent back up the wall to Dunlap. Here's Dunlap with it now. Dunlap on the half wall. Naka with it. As the Blues will look to get ahead. They'll push that puck ahead to the defenseman Lawless. Lawless looking through the middle to Cole, but that's broken up. But Cole with it again by himself. UCC defenders break that one up, and here come the Blues. They'll steam ahead with it, but that's poked off their stick by Robinson. And dangerous pass there, going D to D, but back up to Naka. Here comes Naka with it into the RNS zone. Naka pushing it ahead, looking to retrieve, and his feet by the net. He'll work that puck to the far side, but no one home, and here's Smith with it. Smith back to the UCC defense. Oh, and puck, dangerous play as that puck rolls off their stick, and Cole will retrieve for the Riverhawks. Cole on the boards with it, working with his teammate to win it. Cole, Apps pushing him off the puck and chipping ahead. Good fit play there by Sil Apps. As this puck will go into the neutral zone and punched ahead for Zhang. But eventually back in the neutral zone and then dumped in as UCC looks to change. Here comes Lawless with it now for the Riverhawks as he'll flip it towards the RNS bench. Apps retrieving. Apps going D to D and into the neutral zone. That's punched ahead. Zhang looking to retrieve but hauled down. No call. As we have a lot of neutral zone play here in the middle stages of this second period. 11:23 left now in the middle frame. Shots now 18-6 for the Riverhawks as they maintain their 2-0 lead here. This faceoff will come in front of Jeff Lewis's bench as McMullen taking the draw for the Riverhawks. Puck won by Bick. Back into the Blues end, but that puck will be played into the neutral zone for Gorman. Oh, that's almost turned over. It is turned over and kept in by the Blues. Here's Bick with it. Bick, cross ice, shot, saved by Hackenberg. Rebound poked away by the goaltender. And pushed all the way back into the neutral zone for Scott. Scott looking ahead. Chipped ahead there by Brady, but not all the way in there. As we have a delayed offside. UCC will tag up. But here come the Riverhawks. It's Dawson. Ooh, dangerous hop in on net there. There was a weird sequence there as Dawson flipped one in on the goaltender. Ablett, that took a funny hop off the goaltender's chest and caused him some problems, but the ref doing him a solid and blowing that whistle down early as this faceoff will come to his left. McMullen taking the offensive zone draw here. Puck one to Lewis at the point. Lewis down the wall and chipped ahead there by McMullen. But that puck's kept on the far side by Dawson. Dawson below the goal line now. Dawson protecting. Dawson needing some help here, but it's UCC who comes away with it as they will control and go cross ice as they skate ahead across the blue line. And this puck gets worked back to Naka, but that puck goes down to goal line in front. Broken up nicely there by Lewis. UCC circling as the puck gets worked back to the point. Drag, shot, blocked there by Dawson. Puck worked it back out front. And that's off the stick of Hackenberg and into his glove as we'll get a whistle. Good block there by the RNS forward off of the shot by defender Gavin Yu. And here's Naka to take the face-off to the right of Hackenberg. Naka will lose that draw, and as that puck gets worked ahead to the goal scorer, Moores. Moores flips it across ice as Sproul has to stop up and chip in ahead, but here comes Alvis Pereira. Ooh, and he gets trucked by the UCC defender, and that will start their transition as they enter the RNS zone. As they cut back, shot on net, that is blocked, but they will play around the puck in the corner. Battle one to knock on the half wall as Moores comes across, but kept in by the UCC defender. Alvis Pereira first to it as he'll rim the puck around to Moores. Moores skating, finds Spurrell through the middle, but that is broken up nicely there by the UCC defense as they look to move that puck ahead, but stolen by Spurrell. Spurrell bustling ahead. Spurrell cycling that down low for Moores. Moores will work to the point for Pelche. Pelche with a shot, and that goes off the blocker of the goaltender and into the corner, but kept in by the Riverhawks as Moores, Alvis Pereira, and Spurrell still working. Here's Pelche at the shot again. Ooh, and that hits the post. Hitting the outside post to the blocker side of Ablett. As that puck gets by Beatty and all the way out. Peltier will retreat back in the zone, but lists hard on the forecheck for the Blues. As Peltier unable to get the puck out. Kept in here by the Blues against their best line in the union. Here's Zhang wheeling the zone. Zhang wheeling, dishing, shot, blocked. In and out of the glove of Hackenberg as that puck remains loose. Here's List with it. To the point, shot, blocked. Another good block there by the Riverhawks as they're getting in a lot of shot lanes as the UCCD are scratching their head on what they need to do to get that puck to net. As that puck gets played back in the neutral zone for Butler. Butler, turned over. Here's Cadiz in front. And he trying to go high short side there on the goaltender, Ablett, and out of play. That puck went D to D, but rolling off the stick of Jang, creating that partial breakaway for Cadiz, who sent it out of play. For their best chance of the second period, this faceoff will come to the left of Ablett. As McFadden taking the draw. Lost there and worked ahead to the UCC forwards. But that's turned over and sent back in by McFadden. Good job at the center as Scott retrieves it for the Blues. Reversed. And cutting the net is Yu. Yu will get it ahead to Bick. Bick on net, rebound. And just missed. Back in front. Here's Scott. Scott blocked. And here come the Riverhawks. It's Ablett way out of his net as he makes a great play to get that puck to center ice. Good proactive goaltending there by Ablett to get out. Otherwise, that would have been a 2-on-0 for the Riverhawks. But back into the Riverhawks zone. It's Beatty in the corner. Beatty to McFadden as he flips out of the zone, and Yu back for it. Yu to the wall. And off a Riverhawk stick and back into their zone as Lawless back with it now. Lawless off a skate. And now UCC looking to attack in front. Sent out in front for a good opportunity there, but Hackenberg tall to the task as RNS will come ahead. It's Robinson chipping that puck in as Naka will challenge him in the corner. In the hard battle ensuing in the corner there as Robinson and Naka hard into it. Cole joins as well as Rodriguez, but that gets worked to the far side, and Naka with it now as he looks ahead. That misses everyone, but seems to hit the skate of his teammate as there'll be no icing. Puck behind worked around into Rodriguez, who punches it down as Dunlap will one-hand it to the far corner for Smith to retrieve. Smith unable to get it puck past UCC forecheck, but Rodriguez with an opportunity to get out. That's kept in as put to net and scooped up there by Hackenberg for a stoppage. 6 minutes, just under 6 minutes remaining here in the second period. Still 2-0 for the Riverhawks. Shots now 19-11 in favor of the school from out east. As we'll line up to the left of goaltender Marty Hackenberg. Zhang on the draw for the Blues. Zhang will lose that draw as that puck gets worked to Dawson on the far side. Dawson flipping that puck into center ice as that is chopped ahead, but to Gorman, who pushes that puck back ahead to Beatty, who will rim it in. Ablett, just out of his reach. But hard forecheck here by the Riverhawks as they'll regain possession out front. Just put wide by Beatty. Good forecheck there by Dawson to find Beatty in the slot there, but ultimately he puts that wide as UCC will push ahead. Here comes Zhang. Zhang will chip it into the offensive zone as he'll work on Gorman here, but that puck's turned over to Dunlop. And they'll work it. Dawson will put that in, and this will get worked around and reversed, but Dawson first to it there. Dawson working on Apps as that puck will get worked around the goal and back to the point for Dunlap. Dunlap to the far side to Dawson. Puck jumping off his stick. He'll try to put it to net, but that's blocked. Dawson still working on it. Dunlap just able to keep that puck in, but turned over, and here they go. Here comes List. List with it. List shot. Broken up. Rebound. Just out of the reach of the far forward there as that puck gets worked ahead for Dawson, but turned over to Apps. Here, and Apps will wisely put that puck in as reinforcements will come in from the UCC bench. Hackenberg up the wall, but right into the forecheck of Bick. Bick looking to get that puck as that puck gets thrown in the slot and into the feet. Here comes a shot and good save from Hackenberg on a shot coming from his right side face-off dot. UCC putting on a bit more pressure here as we enter the last 5 minutes of the second period. Bick out to take the draw with Shuttleworth, Brady, Yu, and Scott. As that puck will get one back to Yu as he dances around the blue line. Yu maintaining possession. Try to put one to net, and that's sticked away by Hackenberg. Here's Brady with it as he's working hard. Lawless pushes up the board. Shot by Scott on goal, and that's put into the corner by Hackenberg. Scott keeps that puck in off the glass as he pushes it back down where Peltier will get it for the Riverhawks. He'll rim that puck around and out. Not enough steam here for icing as Yu back to retrieve on a hard forecheck here by Spurrell. Yu will stop, but Spurrell able to pin him there as Moores gets the puck for the Riverhawks. Moores will send it cross ice, but no one home there. Alvis Pereira looking to dance around, but worked ahead by UCC as Peltier pinches down. Peltier with it now at the goal line. He'll work it back up top for Moores. Moores will flip off glass and into the end netting for a faceoff. Faceoff coming to the left of Ablett. Naka to take the defensive zone draw here for the Blues against Alvis Pereira of the Riverhawks. Alves Pereira from Échirol, France. Would love to hear the story of how he ended up in Rossay, New Brunswick. I'm sure there's a good one there. As he loses that draw, and UCC tries to flip it up, but it hits the linesman. Tough break there for the Blues, as I'm sure that's a design face-off play, but unfortunately the linesman helping out the Riverhawks cause there, as this puck will be kept in the offensive zone of the Riverhawks and cycled around to Naka. Naka working hard. See reinforcements come for him, as that puck will get worked back out of the Riverhawks end, but tipped into Lawless. Lawless off the stick and breaking the stick of Naka, who will have to drop his stick, but here comes Rodriguez, who tries to work that puck out front, but that's broken up. And that puck will get sent all the way down the ice, and the Blues just able to beat the Riverhawks player there to trigger the call. As Coach Dan Noble able to get his most productive line out there so far this game, as Zhang will take the draw. This will be Zhang, List, and Avery. Zhang losing that draw, but here's List within the high slot. List just rolling off of his stick as Moores put some good defensive pressure on him, but out front, that's just out of reach of Zhang, but another good block by the Riverhawks as that climbs into the equipment of Alvis Pereira, and we'll get a whistle as that climbed up his pant leg. Hopefully dodging some important areas as this puck will get put back into the RNS zone. 2:34 left in the second period. As it seems as though McFadden will take this draw for the Riverhawks against Zhang again. Zhang will actually get kicked out of this draw, so it's List coming in to take the draw. List, scrambled draw, eventually won, but List coming out with possession with a nice defensive poke. List. Avery with the shot, and that's blocked. Zhang with the shot, and that misses just wide. Back to the point and down to Avery as he'll cycle it down for List. Here's List in the corner with it. 1-on-2 as Avery comes in to help, and now Zhang coming in to assist, but that puck's worked down to Avery. He'll rim it around for Apps. Apps, cross ice, as that rolls off the puck of his partner, and he'll put that puck in deep. That's Butler. Zhang now with it in the far corner. Here's Zhang. Protecting. Over to Butler, who just behind him, as Butler put it to net, and that just tipped over top of the net. As now RNS will flip it out and down the length of the ice, and Apps back to it first for the icing. Some tired troops out there for Jeff Lewis's squad as they'll have to battle through until the next neutral whistle, let's call it, as Bick will switch sides of the ice and get a face-off to the left of Hackenberg. Bick with the draw as he'll push it to the wall, and one. This is Scott with it at the point. Scott shot. Ooh, good save, pad save there by Hackenberg. Not sure how much of that he saw, but he made a good save as this puck gets worked around. And up. And here comes you on the far side. You jumping up at the play. You going through the legs, but good help there by the defense, Romanen, to break that one up. But as he skates with the puck into the UCC zone as we approach the last minute of play, as he works that puck down to Smith in the corner. Smith putting it back behind the net for Romanen, but it is picked off and worked to the point for Dunlap. Here's Dunlap. Dunlap over to Romanen. Romanen puts one towards net, but that's hacked away as Romanen keeps this puck in for the Riverhawks as he'll put one on net. But Havlet, smart play to play it to Scott there to prevent the defensive zone's face-off. But that's ultimately sent down the ice and no icing. So UCC will be able to change as Dunlap trying to get that puck up, and he will be able to do so as that puck gets worked and sent into the RNS zone. Ablett out to play it. Ablett will reverse it wisely to you. You will push it up, but kept in by Dunlap. Dunlap just out of the reach of his teammate as UCC will hammer this puck the length of the ice for icing. Key draw here for both teams as there 16 seconds remain in the second period. Both teams looking to make something happen here. RNS looking to get out of the period with their maybe expanding their lead as UCC looks to keep it to 2. As they will send out McMullen to take the offensive zone draw for the Riverhawks. He'll win it to the UCC defender as that puck gets flipped out. But McClellan does a good job of getting down and keeping that puck in front of him as we'll see if UCC can mount one last rush. Here's Bick with it. Bick dancing in, but time will run out in the second period as the score remains 2-0 for the Riverhawks. Shots now 20-15 as UCC was able to claw back in the shot department. As we'll head to our second intermission here at the Pat Burns Arena. We'll be right back after the flood. And we're back for third period action here at the Pat Burns Arena. RNS comes into the period up 2. Let's see if UCC can mount a comeback here. As it'll be Naka and Alves Pereira here on the draw, as that puck is won by Naka. And off the stick of his defenseman, that'll go all the way back into their zone. As UCC will look to break out here in the early stages of the third. That puck gets worked all the way around to Rodriguez. Rodriguez, nice move to get away from the forecheck, and he'll move it up to Naka. Naka will chip that puck by Dunlap, but it's Dunlap first to it as he'll push it around the wall. As that's flipped ahead, but kept in by Rodriguez, but push ahead again as the Riverhawks enter. Alves Pereira with a shot into the glove of Ablett. Shot coming from the top of the circle off the rush, but one of Ablett's easier stops of the game so far. As this faceoff will come to his right. As McMullen will take the draw, the offensive zone draw for RNS. He'll win that puck back to McClement, who will work it over to Pelche, and Pelche will rim it around for Dawson, just out of his reach as Smith looks to collect, but that gets by him, and Avery looking to transition for UCC, but unable to do so as that puck goes to Pelche, who will fire it rink wide, and that goes off the boards. Dawson chasing after it, but that gets worked around to Rodriguez on the far side. He turns it over to Dawson. That puck goes out in front. Bouncing puck gets away from McMullen and gets pushed into the corner as he gets hauled down, but no call. As UCC will look to get away here as List gets across the blue line, finds, dropped. Ooh, and that is nicely broken up as Dawson will get the puck back for RNS as List will cause another turnover behind the net. List looking to find a teammate here as he'll find Avery in the slot. Avery, that's deflected over top of the net as this will be collected by Zhang. Zhang out there. Zhang working in the corner as that gets pushed ahead, but List will keep that puck in and keep it going, but Dawson will eventually bring that puck out as that puck's turned over as UCC will look to transition to offense here as List gets across the blue line again. He'll dance in. Looking for teammates. List dancing, finds Scott at the far point. Scott, shot on net. That's blocked by Pelche. He'll clear to the line, but kept in by Scott. Here's Scott again as he'll shoot, and that goes off the stick of Robinson into the end netting, and we will get a whistle. Some good early pressure here by the Blues as they're able to get a couple more pucks towards net, and they'll have to get a lot more of those if they want to climb back in this one as Bick will take the draw for the team from Toronto. Bick will win that draw back to Scott. Scott on net. That is blocked in front. Rebound, loose. Oh, and that's just put wide by the forward in front of the net there for UCC as they get a really good chance here early in the third period as that puck sent to net and wide. But Scott pinching down, and that puck will be kept in by Brady, but that's eventually turned over to Moores, who will hand it off the stanchion and out of the zone. Battle just in front of the bench, gets worked all the way across the ice. Here comes Shuttleworth with it. Shuttleworth with a shot, and that's saved by Hackenberg as that puck gets put out front. But Dunlop skating it out of, Lawless skating it out of harm's way. That gets poked off his stick as Moores carries on with it. Bit of a jumbled puck here in the neutral zone as Bick will settle it down and enter by himself as he chips it in on Hackenberg, who will push it behind the net. Lawless rubs his guy out on the board as Beatty with the puck. That's turned over on the half wall. Here comes the Blues. As this is Crombeen with it. Crombeen circling. Crombeen dropping the puck back to Apps. Apps on net. Hits, rebound in front. And unable to be put home as Nowakowski was in tight. But UCC has some good pressure on as Nowakowski finds the puck in the corner. And he'll turn back. But that's turned over there in the slot. But off the stick. Oh, and kept in again. Really good keep in by the Blues as they push Crombeen to the front as that gets sticked aside. And UCC will head to the power play here as Nowakowski was driving the back post and he gets taken down. So the Riverhawks penalty kill will get tested here for the first time tonight. It's Lawless heading to the box. Sure, there's a little joke to be made there, but he'll get the gate. As UCC really putting some pressure on here and getting some good offensive zone time, which caused some wear and tear on the Riverhawks defense and forced them to take a penalty as they'll head to the man advantage. Big power play here. See if they can cut this lead in half as that puck will be worked out by the Riverhawks penalty kill. Here's Rodriguez with it. He'll work it back to Bick. Bick skating ahead. Bick pushing that puck in the corner as Dunlap will meet him there. Dunlap initially winning that puck as Bick chops it out front, but it is McFadden out front as he'll clear that puck down as Ablett will give it to Rodriguez to start the power play breakout. Rodriguez spinning away from the forecheck as he'll give that puck to List. And here comes List with it. List skating ahead. List into the middle. List back to Naka. He falls down, but able to push that puck ahead. But Naka back to his feet, keeps the puck in as he'll work that puck across to Bick. Bick over to List on the flank. Down to goal line. For Zhang, back up to List. Over to Bick. Bick dropping it to Rodriguez. Rodriguez hauled down by McFadden. No call. And here come the Riverhawks 2-on-1. List back to defend. That puck gets thrown over to Dunlap, and that's a good pad save there by Ablett on the shorthanded opportunity. Here comes the Blues back with it now as this is Yu skating the puck in. As that gets flipped into the opposite corner for Nowakowski. Nowakowski up to Crombeen. Crombeen switching with Scott to Yu. Back to Scott. Scott and Yu switching now. Over to Crombeen. Crombeen shot into the chest of Hackenberg, and the goaltender will freeze up for a whistle. Good screen there by the UCC forward, and I don't think Hackenberg really saw that puck, but that puck just kind of settled in his equipment for the whistle. Big save there as 13 seconds left in the UCC power play. Lawless anxious to rejoin his teammates for 5-on-5 hockey as that puck will be pushed out of the zone off the faceoff, and Scott back to retrieve. Scott over to Yu. Up there to Long, who will push that puck in deep, and we're back to even as the Riverhawks with a successful kill. But that puck gets sent on the ice, and now a race for it as Alvis Pereira racing after it, but Ablett cool and calm, reversing the flow. Big hit there on the wall by Scott to separate his man from the puck, but that puck will be kept in the corner as Scott looking to win it free. But that is pushed behind the net as it is worked along the wall to Long, but that is kept back in. And here's Smith with it now for the Riverhawks. Smith out front, no one home. And now flipping that puck deep, and a break. And a big collision there as Hackenberg came out to play the puck, but Long looking for the breakaway pass. Good play there by the RNS goaltender. Some aggressive puck handling by both goaltenders today, leaving their crease to make things happen and break up some offensive chances as Rodriguez puts one on and that gets tipped on, but Hackenberg, good pad save. Here's Long with it. Long shift for him as that puck's work out to Brady, and that gets worked to Rodriguez, but out of his reach, and now pushed into the neutral zone for Smith. Here comes Smith with it. Smith, shot off a stick into the corner. As back to Smith, and here's Shuttleworth with it. Up ice for Bick. Here comes Bick to the net for Shuttleworth, and that's intercepted by the goaltender Hackenberg as he will freeze for a whistle. Shots now almost even, 23-22 for the Riverhawks as UCC pushing hard here to get their first goal of the game. This faceoff will take place to the right of goaltender Hackenberg, with Bick taking the draw for the Blues. Bick will tie up and scramble draw ensuing, and Roman will push it forward. But errant pass finds Beatty on the far side. Beatty looking to net, and that is just out of the reach of his teammate as UCC will look to go the other way. That's poked ahead to Shuttleworth to Bick. Bick down the wing. Bick Nice defensive play there by Romanen to break that up as that puck goes to Brady, up to Apps at the point, and he'll swing that down low for Bick. Shuttleworth looking to get it, but that is out of his reach. And now RNS will come away with it as BD sends that puck in deep with Apps to retrieve. Here's Apps with it in the corner. He falls down. BD to net, and that is out of reach of Cadiz. Puck put on net, and that's sticked away by Ablett. Here comes List with it as he finds Avery on the far side. Avery wrestling with Gorman there as List comes in to help. List now pinned. Numbers in favor of the Riverhawks here in the corner, but coming away with it are the Blues. Shot on net, and that gets deflected and into the corner as that's pushed along the wall as now Zhang looks to climb, but that is knocked off his stick and flipped down the ice by Cadiz. And now Ablett out to play it. He plays it to Avery, who circles the net. He'll play it back for his defenseman, Scott. Scott up to Zhang. Now Zhang up to List. Here comes List with it. He comes down the wing with speed. List to his forehand, cross ice, and just out of the reach of Avery, who was driving hard towards the back post. List having a really good third period and pacing the Blues offense as he has the puck, but met at the blue lane there by Pelletier, and that gets disrupted. Here's McMullen up to Pelletier with it. Pelletier into the middle as RNS gets a 2-on-1 here as they look to Robinson out front. Ooh, and just off the pad of Ablett as he was received some contact by the net drive. That puck gets worked back to Pelletier in the neutral zone and rimmed around, where it'll be Novakowski with it first, but he'll just get that puck in the neutral zone from McClement over to Pelletier. Pelletier now flipping that puck in deep. Novakowski will chop it to the far side for Crombeen, but good work there by the RNS forecheck to keep it deep. Naka trying to help out, but that puck gets thrown to net and intercepted by defenseman Yu, who will look to settle things down here for the Blues. Here's Yu stepping out. Yu up to Naka at the blue line. Naka carrying the puck in. Naka to Crombeen, who power ahead shot from the corner. And that's a good chest save there by Hackenberg as Pelletier now looking to get that puck up, but kept in by Yu. He'll send that puck in deep. Pelletier working it to the weak side, hits the net. And after a bit of rimming around, here comes Yu. Sent behind the net to Naka out front, but able to get good wood on it as Crombeen puts that puck up to Rodriguez at the point. Finds Novakowski. Novakowski to goal, and that gets blocked from the high slot. But good pressure here by the Blues as Naka with it. Naka turning, getting one on net, and that is gloved by Hackenberg for a whistle. Good job by Hackenberg to find that puck through a few layers of traffic towards the RNS goal as he'll get a very crucial whistle. Just over halfway through the final frame here. Quick pace as both teams racing up and down the ice. As it'll be Bick here to take the draw for the Blues. Bick pushing the draw to the wall, but eventually won by Lawless and pushed back for his partner Romanen. Romanen pushing the puck ahead to Spurrell. That's kept in by Bick. Bick wrestling. Bick on the wall. Bick eventually getting that puck in deep as he's held up, no call. As this is Alvis Pereira getting the puck out and flipped in by Moores. Spurrell first to it as he'll get the puck to Alvis Pereira. Alvis Pereira dancing up top as he gets the puck to Lawless. Lawless down to Moores. Moores back up to Lawless. Lawless looking for a shooting lane on net. Double tip. And saved by Ablett. That point shot hitting a couple sticks on the way towards the goaltender. As we got some pushing and shoving going on in front of the UCC goal. Both teams trying to remain disciplined here, not looking to take a penalty. As that will put their teams in a vulnerable spot heading down the stretch here. This faceoff will come to the right of goaltender Shane Ablett. Alvis Pereira taking the draw for the Riverhawks. They'll lose that draw, and UCC flipping that puck out to List. And here comes List. List on his forehand. List, nice diving play by Romanen to get... Ooh, Romanen to get back and break up a dangerous scoring opportunity, but that puck is eventually flipped out of play. So that faceoff will come back into the RNS zone to the left. Goaltender Marty Hackenberg, the 08 goaltender from Grand Prairie, Alberta. Here comes Zhang to take the faceoff for the Blues, as he'll push that to the wall, but lost to Lawless, who will work it over to Romanen, and he tries to go off glass, but that goes into the end netting. So we will do it all again from the opposite end of the ice. Coach Jeff Lewis sending a fresh line out there. And that'll be Will McMullen taking the draw for the defensive zone draw. But Zhang wins this one. He wins that back to List. Shot on net. Oh, and that flutters over top of the goal as an early stick on the way there on the shot by Burley. A battle ensues on the half wall, some pushing and shoving there, and RNS able to chip that puck out as Zhang goes back to retrieve it. Here comes Zhang picking up speed. Zhang coming through the neutral zone. Zhang coming in. He works to the net. That gets poked on goal. And the net now coming dislodged. Good head of steam there by James Zhang. But this faceoff will remain in the RNS zone, so the pressure continuing for Dan Noble's squad as some fresh troops out there. Naka taking the draw. Naka winning the draw back to Scott. Scott putting that puck in deep for Nowakowski, who is pinned against the wall. Nowakowski now tripped up, no call. As this puck will get sent, remain on the half wall as Crombie does a good job wrestling for it. Now Naka with it. He'll send it back to Crombie on the half wall. As this puck gets sent to line, but kept in by Scott. Shot on goal, and that'll be sticked away by Hackenberg. Puck kept in. Oh, as that puck drills U in the midsection, but UCC looking to re-enter the zone, but broken up by McMullen. Here he comes with the puck as he sends it back to Dunlap. Dunlap back up to McMullen as they enter with three. Here comes Smith. Smith shooting. That's blocked by Scott, and he'll flip that puck down the ice. Not enough for icing yet as Dunlap gets back for it. Clark will send it up the wall to Dawson. Dawson will chip it ahead, but Scott last man back for the Blues. We'll send it back up the wall. Ooh, dangerous play there as he'll turn that puck over. Shot on goal, but that's blocked by Scott. Here's Smith with it. He gets shoved down by Scott. And now here come the Blues. But that puck is turned over, and here comes Pelche with it now as that puck gets flipped. And now scramble in the neutral zone will be won by RNS as McClement gets up to Pelche, who will flip it to Apps of the Blues. Here comes Apps spinning away from the forecheck as he'll turn it over. Here's Cadiz with it. Cadiz up to McClement. McClement looking for a lane shot, blocked by Brady, and now chipped out on the far side by Crombie, but turned over. Here comes Bick. Bick shovels it just wide of Hackenberg's glove side on the turnover by Pelche, but here comes Beatty with it now. Beatty across the line to Cadiz. Cadiz shot, save by the goaltender. Back out front, another stop by Ablett. Back and forth action here as Bick coming back across the line as he tries to go through the legs of McClement, but that's broken up. Kept in at the line by Avery. Avery dropping, dangerous drop pass. Cleared down the length of the ice. Here comes Ablett out to play it, though. Ablett so good at playing the puck tonight as he works that puck over to his defenseman and around the boards. But turned over to Spurrell. Spurrell trying to dance on Rodriguez, but he breaks that up. And here comes Rodriguez shoveling the puck up ahead to Zhang. Zhang with it. He'll go across to Rodriguez. He'll get it up to Avery. Avery looking to make a play on the entry, but that's broken up. And that will exit the RNS zone. And Zhang looking to push the pace back in, but that will go for offside. 5:35 left here in a fast-paced third period. Shots now 27-24 for RNS. Face-off taking place just in front of Jeff Lewis's bench here. as that is pushed back to the UCCD, who look to get that puck up. They'll get up to the wall to List, but that's turned over as Moores will send it for a regroup as Lawless looks to put that puck in deep and is able to do so. That puck gets put right in on Ablett for a whistle. Smart play there by the defenseman Lawless to get that offensive zone draw for his team. This faceoff will take place to the left of the goaltender Ablett. There seems to be a bit of confusion by both teams. This is Alves Pereira on the draw for the Riverhawks as he'll lose that draw and flipped ahead here to Avery, but that's just over his stick as Lawless collects, sends it to Moores who will rim it in. Ablett out to play the puck. Casually leaves it there for his defenseman as that causes a bit of confusion. That puck gets put out front and no one home there for the Riverhawks, but played back in on the rim. Here's Burley with it. Burley to Rodriguez. Rodriguez toe drags, and he'll move that puck up to List, but good play there by Morse to come back and break that up. And flipped ahead to Alves Pereira. Here comes Alves Pereira on a break. Alves Pereira shot, scores! Costly turnover there by the Blues leads to a quick transition by the Riverhawks, and Alves Pereira on the partial break sneaks it under the blocker arm of Ablett, and that might be the nail in the coffin for this one as it's now 3-0 RNS. The second and third goals for the Riverhawks essentially being carbon copies as Ablett beat twice through that blocker arm. 4:41 left here in the third period. We'll see if it's too little too late for the Blues, but they now have an even bigger hole to climb out of. Good job by Alves Pereira to make the Blues pay. As here comes RNS looking for more. Here comes Dawson on the breakaway. Dawson in. Oh, great save there by Ablett. On a very nice move by Dawson, but Ablett redeeming himself for that third goal. But here's RNS looking for more. Dawson alone in front. Oh, through the legs. And he roofs that one over top of the net. Some great skill on display by number 10, Dawson. But now here is UCC with the puck on the attack as that is Nowakowski firing one into the chest of Hackenberg. Fun past few minutes of hockey here. After maybe a low event second period, but strong finish to this one. Here's Bick on the faceoff for UCC. Bick, scramble draw. That puck gets worked to Scott at the point. Scott walking the blue line. He'll put one to net, but that is blocked. And they'll get that puck ahead to Smith. That's tipped ahead. And Dawson with good hustle to beat that play out for icing. So that puck will remain in the UCC end, killing valuable time here for the Riverhawks. Dawson has been buzzing here the last couple of shifts as that puck is sent ahead and knocked down in the neutral zone by McClement. And he'll just send that one ahead to the Blues, who will work it back into the RNS zone for Peltier. Peltier works it across. Here's Brady, but good close by McClement to break up any potential passing options as that puck will remain on the half wall as it gets flipped ahead and out as Moores pushes the puck ahead now. Moores getting that puck in deep, and he'll be first to it. Mooresy up to Peltier, who slips and falls. And here comes UCC on the attack, but that's poked ahead as McClement will move it up and out. So UCC will have to tag up as they look to change, and now McClement with it. McClement, that gets turned over in the neutral zone to Rodriguez. Rodriguez ahead to Avery. Here's List with it. List to Zhang, and that's stopped by Hackenberg. As that puck gets cleared the length of the ice, but dies up just short for you, who will rim it around to List. List gets rubbed out on the wall there, but will regain possession as he dances through the middle, and he gets tripped up, and UCC will head back to the power play. Extra skater on the ice now for the Blues as Avery controls it to in front of the net, and Romanen will touch up for the Riverhawks, as this will be number 9, Will Cole, heading to the box. So 9-second difference between game clock and penalty clock here as third period winds down. As Dan Noble will take a timeout to organize his power play unit, potentially pull the goaltender here for an extra attacker. It looks like that will be the case. So we'll have a 6-on-4 opportunity here for the Blues. Assistant coach Nick Ueel drawing up the Riverhawks penalty kill here as they look to close this one out and earn a big first win of the CPSHA playoff weekend. As the buzzer sounds, so the timeout will be concluded. Coaches both looking to get sneak a little extra time in here to draw up their schemes. Both teams still not lined up for the faceoff, even after the referee whistles, but now they come. This will be Naka, List, Rodriguez, Bick, Zhang, and Yu out there as the 6 for UCC, as Yu will get it to Rodriguez. Shot through the crowd. That gets blocked and sent out by the Riverhawks, as Rodriguez will move it up to Yu. Here comes Zhang with it down the wing. He'll stop up. Back to Yu. Yu over to Rodriguez. Rodriguez with it now. Over to List. List down to goal line for Zhang. That goes through his legs. As he'll go to the other side for Yu. But good play there by Spurrell to pin that puck against the wall as a good battle ensues here. Great job by Cadiz to kill some more time as he works that puck gets worked back to Romanen, and he'll send that puck the length of the ice, just missing the UCC goal as Bick back for it. Bick up ahead to Yu. Yu back to Bick. Oh, that gets knocked off the stick by Spurrell. He'll look for the empty net, and he'll go posting in for the empty netter. Nice shot there by Spurrell. Obviously, no icing, so no harm if that goes the length of the ice, but he's able to find the empty net. As it is now 4-0 Riverhawks, with 1:12 remaining here in the third period. Face-off controlled by UCC as they put that puck in deep. With Shuttleworth after it, as he'll win that puck to his teammate, who will move that puck up to Rodriguez. Rodriguez with a shot that is blocked in front. And now cleared by Spurrell. Here's Rodriguez back with it. As that errant pass goes in the neutral zone, as Gorman will put it back in deep for RNS. Collecting the puck is Burley for UCC. Burley moves it over for Brady, and that will get muddled up in the neutral zone, but worked ahead to Shuttleworth now into the RNS end. Less than 30 seconds here remaining in the third period as Burley dances with the blue line. Burley shot off a leg in front, and that will go wide. That puck gets controlled in deep. Out front to Brady. That's off his stick and sent the length of the ice. And with 10 seconds left, that will just about do it here at the Pat Burns Arena for Game 1 of the 2026 CPSHA playoffs. RNS the victors of Game 1, as this game will finish 4-0 for the Riverhawks. Interesting move by Hackenberg to flip the net over, I guess, to celebrate his shutout, and meaning the net is closed as he concludes a strong performance. 29 save shutout. RNS will be back in action here later this evening at 8 o'clock as they play the co-hosts, Stanstead College, at 8 o'clock. And we will be back to you then.